Gossip. The sin of gossip don't get much attention almost anywhere. It just don't get much attention. Most pastors, preachers, some of you this might be your first time ever hearing anybody talk on gossip, and that's a shame. Or preach on the Bible's position on gossip. One of those sins that don't get talked about much. But gossip is something that is overlooked but is detrimental to relationships, to people, to families, homes. Anything that gossip is a part of, it is destructive. And I want to show you what the Bible's position and stance on gossip, because gossip is a sin that makes you dirty, makes anyone that's a part of it, it makes us spiritually dirty. It taints you, just as all sin does. All sin taints us and makes us dirty. But this sin flies under the radar. Why? Because you got preachers that like to gossip. You got deacons that like to gossip. Department leaders like to gossip. Pastors like to gossip. I know a few gossiping pastors. I don't even talk to them anymore, because I ain't got nothing to do with that. But this is a sin that needs to be addressed. Paul dealt with it throughout the book of Corinthians, because the Corinthians, they was all into all kind of chaos and division, and Paul had to the Corinthian church was in a mess. But Paul had to straighten them out on many issues, and a lot of it was running their mouth. They ran their mouth so much that Paul said, you know what, let the women just stay quiet. Don't say nothing else. If they learn, let them go home and learn from their husband. Just shut up. That's what he said. Now, I'm not saying that to you. I'm telling you what Paul said to give you a sense of how bad gossip had gotten. And that's where that part came, and where some of the organization said, wow, women can't preach because the Bible said, be quiet. Let the women be silent in the church. But what they didn't understand was that was a letter from Paul to the church correcting that particular church on what they had done. It was not telling people that women cannot preach. That is not what he was saying. He was correcting that particular church because it was so much chaos, and anybody know, can't too many folks out-talk a woman. Except them sissy guys. But can't too many folks out-talk a woman that's a gossiper. It just cannot happen too often. And it got so bad, that's when Paul said, just make the women shut up, let them just go in the corner and don't say nothing in the church. Wait till you get home and your husband address the issue with you. But we're not in a position like that. But that's how that scripture and parts of those scriptures got mistaken, and women was bound for no reason, because the Bible did not say they couldn't preach. But anyway, let's get back to Proverbs 16. I want to show you some things about this Proverbs 16. Now, I'm going to give you a couple of versions because they just really just tickle my fancy to hear some of the different translations on it. Because one thing, a person that runs their mouth a lot, there's going to be trouble. Because if you like to talk, I'm telling you, something wrong going to come out sooner or later. The Bible even says, be quick to listen and slow to what? Speak. But people that love to talk a lot, you're going to end up talking about the wrong things. Why? Because you're going to run out of the right things to talk about. And then to keep you yapping, you're going to come up with something. And you want people to be, what? Huh? Are you kidding? Child, I can't believe that happened. Did he do? Because you don't want to, it don't sound interesting enough for you talking to somebody and they like, yeah, whatever. You want them to be amazed at what you're saying. And since you like to talk enough, you go and find something to give them some amazement. And nothing amazes folks more than something negative about somebody else. The flesh loves that kind of conversation, but God doesn't. Proverbs 16:27. It says, an ungodly man diggeth up evil, and in his lips there is also a burning fire. But let me tell you what the New Living Translation said. It kind of really, I love it. It says, scoundrels create trouble, and their words are a destructive flame. Scoundrels create troubles. You don't want to be a scoundrel. And words does cause problem, create a destructive blaze. Look at what the contemporary English version says. Worthless people plan trouble. Same verse. Even their words burns like a flaming fire. Call them worthless people that start trouble. Scoundrels, worthless people, ungodly men, women, people. When you like to stir up trouble, there's something wrong with you inside. Gossip stirs up trouble and problems. Something is wrong with that. And one way you can kind of detect if you kind of loose and something wrong with you, if you're the type of person that love to hear something. You know, some people can be way across the room and hear, what you just say? Oh, I thought I heard something. Huh? They're not even in the conversation and they just butting in. You know something wrong with you when you just want to hear something. That is a true sign of a gossiper. You sitting on the pew and then folks behind you talking, you leaning all back. Huh? Then sometimes they just turn around and just get in your conversation. Something is wrong with you. If you just that, you just that after, hearing something. There's something wrong with that. I don't care about other folks' business. I'm not trying to hear nothing. But when you love to hear stuff like, you just want to hear something. You got people that they can't wait. They are the unofficial news reporter of their family. Everybody have at least one. They call everybody in the family and tell them what's going on. Every family have at least one. Most days you got multiple. The unofficial news reporter. Call a Diane Sawyer, Barbara Walters or somebody. Because everybody have them. Tom Brokaw in the family, they have them. Everybody have a Ted Koppel or somebody in the family. And they just want to be the first one to report the news of what happened. But something's wrong. Look at let's turn to Proverbs 18 and 28. We're still talking about people that love to talk, run their mouth, because gossipers have to talk. Their mouth is what keeps them going. Proverbs 18 and 28 says, wait a minute, I'm sorry. Wait a minute. You're right, 16. I don't know where I get 18. Somebody getting old, whoever that is. My wife saying, what, 17? You want 17? But I wasn't thinking about 17. Even a fool, when he holdeth his peace, is counted wise. And he that shutteth his lips is an esteemed man of understanding. Even a fool, that is 17, that's right, it's 17. Even a fool, when he holdeth his peace, is counted wise. He that shutteth his lips is esteemed a man of understanding. And that's awesome. Now here's another one. A troublemaker plants seeds of strife. New Living Translation. Gossip separates the best of friends. A troublemaker plants seeds of strife, but gossip separates the best of friends. It does. Gossip breaks homes and friendships and relationships and households and jobs. And it just causes all kind of dissension and division and problems. That's what gossip does. Gossip is very destructive. Very destructive. Now let's look at Proverbs 18. That's where we want to go. We got several scriptures there. That's what I was just reading one into your ears. Proverbs 18. Boy, I love verse number 6, just tickle me. Proverbs 18 and 6. It says, a fool lips enter into contentions. And this is the King James Version. And his mouth calleth for strokes. But here's when you break it down. New Living Translation style.